What's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of house flipping. So as a full-time house flipper and someone that's been involved in the real estate investing world for really about a decade, I can share some valuable insights into the pros as well as the cons when it comes to house flipping. So before we get into it, please smash that like button and let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the pros. Pro number one is that when done correctly, real estate investing and house flipping can make a lot of money. I've done deals where I've made basically my yearly income on one deal that I've had at previous jobs. So when done correctly, it can be very profitable and very lucrative. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to do it correctly later on in this video. Pro number two. So when done correctly, house flipping can be a lot of fun. I mean, it can be exhilarating. Some people just love the idea of taking some old beaten up property and fixing it up, maybe keeping some of the older historic features but renovating some of the parts that need to be replaced. But that can be an amazing experience, just seeing the property transform from this old junker type of house into a brand new, modern, luxurious place. Me personally, I love just finding a deal. To me, that's a lot of fun. I'm more on the marketing side of things and less on the contracting and renovation side of things. I like that part too. But for me, I like just finding an amazing deal. I like getting like 20 or 30 phone calls, and all of them are, so-so type of deals, maybe not the greatest leads in the world, but then you get those one or two leads that are just amazing types of deals. And then once you get those deals, there's other people that are contacting them. They want to sell to other people. They have to sell quickly, so you have to do your best to get the property under contract. And there's nothing better than getting a great property under contract. And like a lot of real estate investors say, you make money on the purchase. So when you buy a discounted piece of property or get it under contract, there is no better feeling in the world than that. Okay, so pro number three is that as a house flipper, you're your own boss. You're not reporting to anyone. It's completely up to you what you want to do with your time, whether you spend it driving around looking at properties, doing marketing, just hanging out, whatever it is you want to do, you're the boss. So you make the decisions. You don't have to report to anyone. If you have contractors going on, you might have to make sure they're doing their work and whatnot, and make sure your projects are coming along. But you're the boss. You're the CEO. So you get to call the shots. You get to make the rules. If you're making money, it's all because of you. If you're losing money, it's all because of you as well. So there's no one else to blame. But that can be a great experience, being your own boss and finding great deals in your own area. Pro number four is the evolution of being a real estate investor. And what I mean by that is that every single deal that you do, whether you make $1,000 or $100,000, and I've done deals where I've made both of those amounts, you get better as a real estate investor. So no matter how much you make, what type of deal it is, you get a little bit better. So by the time you've done 5 deals, 10 deals, 20 deals, 100 deals, you become savvier, you become smarter, you start to see more opportunities. You really start to evolve as a real estate investor and just see potential where there was no potential before, and you just start to see the possibilities. I mean, a lot of people look at real estate investing, they think it's too competitive, but once you really get into the business and you start seeing the amount of deals and the amount of types of deals that you can do. I mean, I've seen some investors that just started with cheap little flips and now they're doing like brand new $1 million construction properties or condo conversions, or maybe they're building massive rental portfolios with 100-unit multifamily buildings. There's so much potential once you start getting some experience, and every single deal I do, I just love it, getting to completion and getting to closing and just getting that little 1% better, because I know on the next deal I'm going to be savvier, I'm going to be smarter, and probably make more money too. Okay, so pro number 5 is that you can do this business full-time or part-time, whatever you're more comfortable with. Some people don't want to quit their job and just jump into being a real estate investor. They like the security of having income coming in, and they can build up a rental portfolio. I know some people they could be full-time real estate investors, but they're getting the income from their job and they're building massive rental portfolios. Maybe they're buying 2 or 3 rental properties per year, reinvesting that money, buying bigger apartment buildings, things like that. You can also do the business full-time, obviously, and there's a lot of people that do that. And the great thing about real estate investing, it doesn't take up as much time as some of these other professions. So let's say you find a great deal. You might manage the project or oversee the project, but you're typically not going to be spending 40, 50, 60 hours a week at that one house. You could leverage your time and look at other deals. Maybe you could start a YouTube channel. Maybe you could do different things. I mean, some people just do real estate investing so that they can have free time to do what they love to do, like their hobbies. Maybe they go on bike rides or who knows what, camping and traveling and things like that. So real estate investing, it gives you a lot of flexibility, if you do it full time, and then if you do it part time, you can have the cash flow and build up a rental portfolio or do flips and different types of deals. Okay, so let's talk about the cons now. So like any great profession or anything really, there's pros and cons to it. So one of the cons to real estate investing and house flipping is that you can also lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. And I would say this, before you buy any deal, especially if it's your first deal, make sure you've evaluated at least 100 properties. And what I mean by that, you don't necessarily need to go out to 100 properties, but you should have some type of underwriting or deal analyzer. And if you want a deal analyzer, just go to my website, the link's below, you can download it for free. But you should have practiced analyzing at least 100 deals, because you really need to be careful with what you purchase. There's a lot of properties that might seem like deals and maybe they could be a deal in the right circumstance. But when I purchase a property, it's usually a pretty solid, clear-cut, profitable type of deal. And I see this a lot with newer investors. They always want to purchase like the first deal or two they see just because they're pretty excited about the business. When in reality, they should look at 20, 30, 40, better yet 100 different deals, just so they have a pretty good reference point as to, okay, this is what makes a good deal, this is what makes a bad deal. Because if you look at 100 deals, there's going to be like 2 or 3 that are amazing deals. There's probably going to be 2 or 3 that are horrible deals. There's probably going to be a bunch that are mediocre types of deals. But you really need to qualify and find the right deals. Con number 2 is the taxes. So, real estate, there's always tax implications if you're purchasing it and rehabbing it, if you have rental properties. So what I would say with this, I'm not a CPA by any stretch of the imagination, but you should always track, your expenses, your income, and also try not to spend too much. If you do a big deal, don't go and buy like a Maserati or like a brand new apartment. You should probably save some of that money for taxes, pay down any debt if you have it. Be pretty responsible with your money until you get your tax system up and running, when you find a good CPA and you have a good system for keeping track of that. One of the biggest regrets I hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about is that they didn't keep the books better when they first started as a business person. So be very careful when it comes to accounting. Use QuickBooks, use a CPA, read books on tax strategies, attend tax seminars. Try to be very savvy in that area. Con number 3 is that when it comes to flipping houses and just real estate investing in general, properties and projects usually take longer than expected and cost more than you're expecting them to cost. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be still massively profitable and still stay within some type of time frame, but just keep that in mind. A lot of investors might think that a property might only take like 2 weeks to renovate. And maybe it would only take 2 weeks to renovate if the contractor shows up exactly the day you purchase the property and knows exactly what you're doing and you pay him the full amount. But oftentimes, it might take a contractor a week or 2 just to get to the property. There might be some delays. Just finishing out the property might take a few extra weeks. So you always have to be patient and kind of factor in a little bit extra money, a little bit extra time when it comes to some of these properties. All right, so there you have it, the pros and cons to flipping houses. And overall, I would just say this. I just want to reiterate these 2 points. Number 1, you just need to be very selective with the types of deals you buy. So be very wary, especially when you're getting started, of just buying any type of house. Be very selective with the types of properties you'll purchase, and it will make the business a lot more fun, I can guarantee you. There's nothing worse than just doing a deal where you're just breaking even. So be very selective about the types of deals that you do. And then next, keep in mind that every deal you do, you're going to get better and better. So after 5 deals, 10 deals, 20 deals, you're going to become an expert. You're going to start to see more opportunities. This whole world of real estate investing is really going to open up. So just stay with it, be persistent, be very strategic and picky about the deals you buy. So thanks for watching this video, and please like, please share, please subscribe. And also, if you want the deal analyzer I mentioned in this video, go to the link below on my website, and I will see you later. All right, bye.